Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. Ladies and gentlemen, in his first big move after taking oath as the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, Mohan Yadav has ordered a ban on the unregulated use of loudspeakers at religious and public places. He's also issued instructions to ban the sale of meat in the open. After the first meeting of the MP cabinet, the Chief Minister said that his government issued guidelines for the use of loudspeakers based on the orders of the Supreme Court and the National Green Tribunal, and rules for the immediate ban on sale of meat in the open have also been brought in. The government order said that regulated loudspeakers will be allowed to operate within prescribed decibel limits and at prescribed times only at religious and public places in MP. A flying squad will also be constituted in each district to monitor the sound levels of loudspeakers and DJ systems playing music at religious places. The MP Chief Minister has also informed that a campaign will be undertaken by the Food Department, police and local urban bodies in the state to implement the ban on the sale of meat and fish in the open from December 15th to the 31st.
फूड सेफ्टी नियम लागू होने के बाद खुले में मांस या अंडे की दुकान चलाना, ये भारत सरकार ने भी इसमें दिशा निर्देश जारी किए हुए हैं। इस चीज को कड़ाई से लागू करने के लिए हमने कैबिनेट में इसके संबंध में तैयारी करने के लिए कहा है। इस दिशा में योग्य प्रकार से जन जागरण भी हो जाए और जिनको ये बिजनेस करना उनको उसके दायरे भी बता दिए जाए, कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, उनको भी इन सारी बातों के अवेयरनेस के साथ।
Soon after the government issued orders, bulldozer action was witnessed at illegal meat shops in Ujjain and Katni in MP. Illegal loudspeakers were also removed from religious places.
पूरे क्षेत्र में अनाउंसमेंट करके सभी को सचेत किया है कि शासन द्वारा खुले में विक्रय प्रतिबंधित किया गया है, इसलिए आप लोग कोई भी कल से विक्रय बंद कर दें।
शासन निर्देश अनुसार अनुज्ञा के बिना संचालित मांस और मछली की दुकानों के संबंध में आज प्रभावी कार्रवाई नागझरी क्षेत्र में की गई है। अभी लगभग 10 दुकानों के विरुद्ध कार्रवाई की गई है, जिनके द्वारा खुले में मांस का विक्रय किया जा रहा है।
The MP government's decision seemed to have infuriated the opposition Congress in the state. The Congress has accused Madhya Pradesh government of diverting attention from real issues and that the order has been issued with a malintent and is an assault on faith and the right to eat.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहीं प्रतिबंध शब्द का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। उसने यंत्रों में सीमित संख्या, सीमित आवाज के लिए कहा है। मध्य प्रदेश में भ्रम फैलाने का काम मुख्यमंत्री ने किया।
This is ridiculous. We have the right to food. Nobody can stop what we eat, and this is an old fashion to divert the attention of the issues. And stopping meat or stopping vegetables, it is none of their business.
एजेंडा उन्होंने सेट कर दिया। ये मतलब नहीं कि जो महंगाई है वहाँ पे कैसे अंकुश लगाएंगे, ये मतलब नहीं कि जो लोग परेशान हैं उस पर क्या करेंगे, ये नहीं कि जो मुद्दे उठे थे भ्रष्टाचार के उसकी जांच कर लें, मुद्दे दूसरे बनाने को।
ये कुछ न कुछ बहाना विवाद के लिए ढूंढ रहे हैं। कुछ भी करें, समाज में विवाद नहीं होना चाहिए। ये हमारा लक्ष्य है कि हमारी संस्कृति जुड़ के रहने की है, प्यार मोहब्बत की है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Ajay Dhawle, Madhya Pradesh BJP spokesperson. Also with us on the broadcast is Mithun Vijay Kumar, political analyst. Vinod Bansal of the VHPs and the national spokesperson of the VHP, in fact, is with us. Advocate Umar Junaidi, political analyst, as well as Atikur Rahman, political analyst, and Pankaj Sharma, political analyst, with us on the broadcast. Let me start with you first, Mr. Ajay Dhawle. और सवाल ये उठाया जा रहा है, what's being asked is, and being stated, you heard the Congress leaders themselves, they are saying that it is important for all governments to take everybody along with amity. Unfortunately, the impression amongst the leaders of the Congress is that unfortunately the government is trying to perhaps divide, polarize ahead of elections. What would you say?
Yeah. Firstly, why there is a discussion on appeasement? There, the government's intention is a clear cut. The government wants to implement a law in its spirit and the constitutional spirits. So the first decision of cabinet of Mr. Dr. Mohan Yadav is to regularize the sound pollutions which the mandatory the limit of Honorable Supreme Court and Noise Pollution Control Regulation Rule 2000. And what about the food safety guidelines prescribed by the Government of India? So we want to ensure the implementation of law in its letter and spirit. So why there is opposition is calling it appeasement politics? It's not appeasement. The food safety rules it's about all the citizens of Madhya Pradesh. And second thing, we must be stand by the government. The government is thinking about its people and not only particular section. So my question is to the opposition and its leaders, why they are creating hues and cry on this appeasement politics.
Okay.
The government's intention is not malified. The government intention is a clear cut that we want to implement the law in its letter and spirit. And Honorable Chief Minister Madhya Pradesh has in its first cabinet meeting ensured the implementation of Honorable Supreme Court's guidelines.
Okay,
So
okay, I got your point. Let Advocate Umer Junaidi come in on this. Advocate Umer Junaidi, this is not malified. This is just the state government looking out for the interest of its citizens. As far as loudspeakers, they're saying that this is going by what Supreme Court has said. As far as the food guidelines, they say this is what the FSSAI of the center has prescribed. Your response to Mr. Dhawle?
Good evening, Madhav, and to all my fellow panelists. What the BJP in Madhya Pradesh is doing is nothing but the diversion politics, wherein the CM was to take care of the state in the meaning of the development and to give the jobs to the youngsters of the Madhya Pradesh and to create the tourism in the Madhya Pradesh and several other things. In short, we can say that it was the duty of the CM to focus on the developments and the real issues, wherein the CM of the Madhya Pradesh just wanted to divert the politics, and that is the reason they have implemented these rules of this removal of the loudspeakers from the religious places as well as eating of food. First of all, they are snatching the right to eat. And second thing is, they are saying that they are implementing what Supreme Court said. Supreme Court said ban on crackers at Diwali, but there was no ban in the BJP ruled state. So only Madhya Pradesh, and that too early before the elections of 2024. Now Madhya Pradesh or the Madhya Pradesh BJP Chief Minister is now thinking about the implementation of the Supreme Court's rule. Then where the BJP states, BJP ruled states, when Diwali was there and Supreme Court gave an order of not to crack the crackers, not to burn the crackers.
Okay.
So this is not the issue. The issue is to divert. The issue is to do Hindu-Muslim. And the thing is...
Mr. Dhawle, I got your point. Let Mr. Dhawle respond to that charge. Mr. Dhawle, you are selectively quoting and implementing what the Supreme Court has said. If this was the case, then why was it that in several states ruled by the BJP, Supreme Court's orders on firecrackers were not implemented? Is a question coming in from Mr. Umer Junaidi. Please respond to it.
We already said in I already said in my opening statement, and we as the Bharatiya Janata Party already abide by the law enforced by the Honorable Supreme Court, and we are always abiding the land of the law. What is the question when the government of Madhya Pradesh ensured the implementation of the Honorable Supreme Court's guideline? If they are saying about the crackers, the Diwali celebration is related to our religious and principles. So
banning of the loudspeaker is not religious matter.
Yeah, so there is a prescribed guideline.
So you are
what we are saying, there is a prescribed guideline, and there is a prescribed guideline by Honorable Supreme Court, not by the BJP ruled government. Yeah, you can't understand my point. There is a prescribed guideline by Honorable Supreme Court. There is a noise pollution control.
There is a guideline prescribed by the Supreme Court not to burn the crackers. Why that decision wasn't implemented?
Yeah, Supreme Court has never said to ban the cracker. Supreme Court has never. You are selectively quoting.
Supreme Court, why?
You are selectively quoting. Supreme Court never said ban the cracker. Supreme Court says ban the crackers in a prescribed limit. So we ensure that the crackers should be fired in the ensured limit. You are here creating a chaos by creating the religious issue. This is not the religious issue. You are creating a politics on it.
No,
we are the Bharatiya Janata Party and our government are only thinking about the citizens. We are only thinking about the citizens. We are thinking about our people. What is it? The banning of meat and selling the meat.
Let me come in now. One by one, gentlemen. Let's go one by one. You know, if the issue is appeasement, then Atikur Rahman questions will also be asked about what is happening in other states, like for instance in Bihar, where certain festivals, the holidays itself has been changed, the calendar itself has been changed for the first time. So there is appeasement on all sides. This is an argument that all state governments can at the end of the day be accused of, irrespective of which ideology they represent. Atikur Rahman.
So, Madhav, are we moving into a state of tit for tat? That if Maharashtra and Bengal is doing one thing, Bihar is doing one thing, UP and MP will be doing something else? In this fashion, ugly fashion, states cannot be run. Besides this, this is a perfect move towards a totalitarian state. Then what about the, the G20 global summit, which India headed, saying that one future, one people, and one earth? So this flies in the face of everything. Besides, if the sentiments of a particular people are hurt by the sale of meat in the open, why can't the Muslims the other day will be demanding there cannot be any sale of liquor? That will be hurting the sentiments of the Muslims. So these moves are a totalitarian state moves. This is not acceptable in a democratic Indian society which is secular, and we have traditions of giving ample scope for every other religion as far as their eating habits are concerned and dress codes are concerned.
Let me bring in Mithun Vijay Kumar on that. Mithun Vijay Kumar, the government takes one position when it comes to the G20, talks about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one, and yet when it comes to their own states, the allegation of Mr. Atikur Rahman is that you are creating totalitarian regimes which are repressive in nature, which are cracking down on certain practices of certain religions. Your response to Professor Atikur Rahman, Mithun.
See, Madhav, first of all, I don't see any religion in this. Let's not mix up religion and hygiene. And I heard the comments of all the panelists, and someone was saying that it's particularly targeting a particular community. I don't see any particular community being targeted here, Madhav. I believe MP government is actually setting examples for all state governments to follow. I just can't understand what's wrong with the sound level, regulation order of the government. I can actually still remember, when I was preparing for exams and I was at a place where, I was at a close proximity to two religious institutions of the same religion, of course. And both the loudspeakers would be played at the same time. And this was a trouble for the students. And many students in India are actually facing this. So I think this decision would be a big relief to many of the students in that state itself. And coming to the open sale of meat, Madhav, no one is stopping anyone from the right to food is what I understand. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Access to meat and eggs is not synonymous with open air, unhygienic conditions is what I would like to clarify to the panelist, Mr. Atikur Rahman. There are numerous licensed and regulated meat shops, poultry farms and supermarkets that exist across Madhya Pradesh. This ban in no way restricts access to these sources. So you can't be mixing up religion here and giving it an entirely different angle altogether. So don't try to create any wrong impressions. So just
but Mithun Vijay Kumar, the question then is twofold. The question that arises then is that I'm going to start with the meat ban. They will say that this, maybe the pushcart vendors who are selling these meat or eggs or whatever it may be, perhaps this is what is acceptable for the poorest of the poor, for the common man to eat. And if this was to be implemented, why did the previous Shivraj Singh Chauhan government not implement it? Why is it only being done now? Is it not being done with some kind of purpose in mind?
No, there would be certain regulations, improvements, and enhancements from time to time. So, asking why in 2021 we are doing something, but we didn't do it in the previous year or the year before that. That's an insensible question, is what I understand. We are progressing as a country, we are progressing as a state, and if some government is bringing in new reforms with an intention to improve the hygiene in food and to reduce the noise pollution, I don't think there is any question of religion in this, and we should not be diverting the whole topic to a different discussion altogether. Okay. I was expecting they would bring in beef and all, but thankfully it has not come into picture.
Okay. Atikur Rahman, this is just a reform in society. All should accept it because it applies to all. Point number one, there's no total ban on meat and eggs. You can go and have it at a shop if anybody wants to. And also when it comes to loudspeakers, it is for all religious institutions. So the argument that is coming in from the side of the government or those defending the government is that there is no discrimination, as has been alleged.
Madhav, the sound is too interrupting, but as I heard you and understand, this is a backdoor entry. If someone is saying that this is nothing to do with religion, can you really say that liquor is also not doing anything with religion? If people are, having liquor and dying and the families are uprooted, what's hygienic in that? May I know from the fellow panelists? Besides, Madhav, what we are pinpointing is that equality is the core argument as far as the preamble to the constitution is stays. You are attacking all people whom you dislike because a person is having some kind of a food, having some kind of a clothing, you discriminate against. So is discrimination now acceptable in the constitution or the future constitution of India?
Okay.
Are you writing a new constitution where you need to discriminate between people on their food habits and clothing?
Vinod Bansal, this is a backdoor entry that is being given for discrimination. To sum up what Professor Atikur Rahman is saying, your response to him?
Madhavji, I would like to request all our fellow panelists who are objecting to the decision of the government that where any religion is quoted in the entire order, number one. Number two is that whether the law which have been enacted or whatever order has been passed by the new government is anywhere said that it is implied for Muslims, it is not applicable for Hindus. Number three, where is the discrimination part belongs to? एक्चुअली ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे कि चोर की दाढ़ी में तिनका, माधव जी, कि भाई जब लोगों को लगता है कि मैं अपराधी बनने वाला हूं तो उसके बाद वो चिल्लाने लग जाता है कि व्हाई द लॉ इज बीइंग मेड. और ये भी बड़ा इलॉजिकल क्वेश्चन मुझे लगता है कि पहले नहीं था, आज क्यों हो रहा है, पहले क्यों नहीं था, इसके साथ क्यों हो रहा है. ये सब चीजें फॉल्स हैं. मैं कहता हूं जब आप अपराध करते ही नहीं है तो डर किस बात का भाई? आपके मन में तो वही है ना कि मुझे अपराध करना है इसलिए मेरे ऊपर प्रतिबंध लगाए जा रहे हैं. When I'm not worried about my temples, I'm not worried about because देखिए लाउड स्पीकर प्रोग्राम हम भी करते हैं, लेकिन हमने तो कोई ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं किया. मुझे लगता है मस्जिद से ज्यादा तो मंदिरों में लाउड स्पीकर होंगे. बट क्या किसी हिंदू ने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, किसी हिंदू ने ऑब्जेक्शन किया है क्या? बिकॉज वी आर द लॉ अवॉइडिंग पीपल. ये जो ना अतीकुर रहमान जी को हमेशा अपने अंदर नजर आता है कि हमारे ऊपर अटैक हो रहा है. क्यों?
Atikur ji, quick response of Atikur Rahman, then I go across to Pankaj Sharma. Atikur Rahman, he is saying this is chor ki daadi mein tinka. Your response to him?
Madhav, the sound is not proper anyhow. Vinod Bansal ji, we also know what kind of subjects you are interested in. What kind of discrimination against one particular community, mainly the Muslims, you are opposed to.
Let's stick to no person.
You are habitual on these counts.
Atikur Rahman, let's stick to the subject of the debate, please. My request, because that if one person, see, my only request is this: if one person starts making general comments, then other person does that, it becomes and degenerates into a personalized debate.
Does on Valentine's Day.
Atikur Rahman,
the New Year is approaching. We will come to know, Madhav, within hours what sort of mentality, what sort of people the VHP they hire. They have goons who do not subscribe to a particular ideology. They are attacked. The New Year's Eve, you will see the VHP
what you are saying,
doing the rounds on the road.
No, on what basis are you saying this? One second, Atikur Rahman, see, this is the problem. If you start making generic comments, give specifics of what you're talking about, and then I'll ask a question to Mr. Bansal. Because you're making such a generic comment, he can clearly deny it. But anyway, since you've taken the name of the VHP, quick response to Mr. Bansal, then goes to Pankaj Sharma. Yes, Mr. Bansal.
देखिए जिन लोगों के पास कोई तथ्य नहीं होते, सत्य नहीं होते, कोई बात का जवाब नहीं होता, तो इधर उधर की बातें करने लग जाते हैं. माधव, दिस इज द वे द Atikur Rahman is replying to the questions. Question is that कि भी मुझे बताइए कि जो ऑर्डर पास हुआ है, the debate is purely based on the order of the MP government, and where in the context of the order, where is Hindu and Muslim is written?
Okay.
Where is written that it is applicable?
Let me put that question across to Pankaj Sharma. Pankaj Sharma, I would like Pankaj Sharma to take that question. Yes, you mentioned this question. So Pankaj Sharma, please respond to Vinod Bansal. He is saying कि कहाँ लिखा गया है Hindu या Muslim? This is an order that applies to all the citizens uniformly. Your response?
Because Vinod Bansal ji is clapping on the ban of loudspeakers. Let me also clap, but let me also underline that the government order says that the unregulated use of loudspeakers in religious places or say in religious events is banned. So this is this, unregulated use is the catch.
Naturally.
This is the catch. I hope the Chief Minister would be able to regulate the permission process to use the loudspeakers in a fair and impartial way. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me.
Okay, Bansalji, let him speak. He has not yet spoken. Let's be fair. Let him have a say. Yeah. You can respond to it.
I am saying let us hope that there won't be any community-oriented discrimination in regulating this ban, and monitoring by flying squads in every district would not become a deliberate cause of harassment to any particular section of the society.
Right.
See, I can understand banning the
No,
sale
but he
of
is saying,
meat
sir,
in open.
Mr. Sharma, one second, just let me paraphrase what Mr. Bansal. Yeah, Mr. Bansal, one second. Mr. Bansal just said that there are various temples that also have loudspeakers. So where is the question of discrimination? That is his question. Please respond to him on that point, which he has just made.
It depends on the administration to whom they give permission, for how much time, and for whom they don't give permission. This is the unregulated and regulated use of the loudspeakers.
Okay.
Second, this
okay, if it's regulated, will there be a parity or a discrimination in the regulation is the question that Pankaj Sharma is asking. Vinod Bansal.
There is a scope, yes.
देखिए, मैं कहता हूं ये वही बात है कि ये जो कानून को नहीं मानने वालों को पहले से ही चिंता हो जाती है कि आखिरकार मेरे ऊपर ही डंडा आने वाला है. Question is that कि if somebody is not regulated, the regulation must be implemented, na? Wherever it is, whether it is a temple or it is a mosque or it is a girjaghar or something else,
it should be implemented.
But why you are worried about in advance?
But
और दूसरी बात ये कि ये अतीक और रहमान जिस तरह से जनरलाइज कमेंट कर रहे हैं, that is very very objectionable.
Okay, no, I've clarified that point.
Pankaj Sharma तो दुनिया को पता है.
Pankaj Sharma.
किसी और का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड मत बताइए. हिंदुओं के मंदिरों को बंद करवाना और मंदिरों पर आहत करवाना, उन पर बम विस्फोट करवाना, ये तो कांग्रेस की पुरानी नीति रही है.
Okay, let's go one by one. Let's not make sir. I will request you also. Please let's restrain our comments. Let's not make generalized comments, because we can get all sorts of responses. I don't want the debate to degenerate. But Pankaj Sharma, quick response to Vinod Bansal.
See, I'm saying the track record of BJP governments in implementing rules, everyone knows it. That is why this apprehension is there. So I am saying everything should not be regulated through harsh authoritarian laws.
Okay.
There are things that can be achieved through proper public awareness measures.
Okay.
The government's purpose should be strengthening.
So Ajay Dhawle, let me bring in the BJP spokesperson. Let me bring in the MP BJP spokesperson Ajay Dhawle. Ajay Dhawle, the question is, who will do the regulation, number one? And number two, is this simply the Yogi model being implemented in Madhya Pradesh?
So, first of all, the government's roles and responsibilities to implement the law and to ensure the implementation of the law. And we are ensuring the implementation of Supreme Court's online.
Okay.
Second, the question is, Madhav, your second question is about the Yogi model. So we said if there is a good practices all over the India, and we are following the good practices either as a BJP ruled state or any other party ruling state, but there is a good practices. So we will definitely, each and every developmental government's responsibility is that to implement the good practices in their own state. And firstly, the BJP, what is doing that? We are doing the politics of conformance. We are doing the politics of development. So either from the party era, we are believing we have to do. The people have given the mandate us to ensure they are safety.
Almost out of time. I want a quick comment from Umar Junaidi on that. Umar Junaidi, if there are good things to pick up from other states, then why should we not pick it up? That's a BJP spokesperson saying to a pointed question of Yogi Adityanath. Yeah, Umar Junaidi.
Demolition of houses is not a good practice. First of all, second thing is
we have
implementation of.
We proudly said that. We proudly said that.
Let me talk. I haven't disturbed you while you were speaking. First of all, the demolition of the houses is not a good practice, and this is not valid in India. And second point, implementation of only those orders of the Supreme Court wherein they found it very easy and very easy to use for the diversion technique, this will not be taken. If they are really caring about the Supreme Court, if they are really caring about the environment and hygiene and all, then why there is no implementation of the orders of Supreme Court on the crackers?
Okay. Mithun wants to comment on this. I'm going to allow Mithun, quick response, please. 20-second response. Completely out of time.
Mithun. A lot of things. Yeah, Madhav, Madhav, I heard a lot of things, but I would like to summarize all that I would like to say. See, I heard one person saying that, everything shouldn't be regulated through policies. We must be creating awareness about things. Then why do we need governments? We have been trying to create awareness about cigarette smoking since time immemorial. Have you seen anyone stop cigarette smoking by that? And coming to the example of Mr. Rahman, he's saying that, he was taking the example of liquor ban. I think liquor is actually prohibited in many states in India. Gujarat is a dry state. Now, as per Atikur Rahman's argument, is liquor prohibited in Gujarat because the government wants to make the Muslims happy in that state? These are just unnecessary arguments, Madhav. They are trying to create an impression that this is an intrusion into personal lives and dietary choices, whereas these are just regulations meant to, implement more safe, hygienic procedures and, bring down the noise pollution levels. And you can go and eat in any restaurant that serves food, and there is no restriction on
interesting point to note is that when meat was banned in Mathura by the Yogi government in the year April 2023, this year, they've also banned liquor. So that's just an interesting facet to note, because this is actually what's happened on ground in Mathura as far as that particular concern of some of the panelists are concerned. We'll have to leave it there. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us. Ajay Dhawle, Mithun Vijay Kumar, Vinod Bansal, Advocate Umar Junaidi, Atikur Rahman and Pankaj Sharma. Thanks so much for joining us on debate number 1.